for it.
It's just something my mom's not thinking about later, right?
Exactly.
I'm just gonna love it. Play some on Facebook.
Are we ready?
This is going to take place on the first day after we've finished reading Here for Dreaming. Throughout, this is going to be for my freshman class, kind of based it off of my block teaching that I've been doing this semester. So, which is a great one for this because my kids would love this. So what I'm going to be having us do with our time, since for the duration of reading this, we have been assessing major literary elements. We've been talking about the historical context of it, the setting, themes throughout.
Would you let me didn't need to put it on.
We're going to continue that discussion today with going over a major word data sheet, which this is going to be really, really beneficial, and I wanted to complete one of these because it's going to aid when we're writing our papers, because it provides a really nice summative guide. And the more in detail that you decide to go with it, the more it's going to help you. So the more that you add page numbers, the more creative that you get with it, the better it'll aid us here in a couple of days when we actually do start working on our papers. When we do end up starting working on our papers, tomorrow we're going to be doing more of a conflict analysis worksheet, and that'll help us be able to distinguish what conflict we want to write about for our paper. So I thought we would go over today what the specific elements for these as a review, just so when you decide to do this on your own, it might work a lot faster. So for the biographical information, a lot of times, especially if you have a hardcover book, it can be found on the inside first page, inside back page. Since we had the paperback copy, it's not there. I was able to find a bunch of information on Kat Winters online. She's got her own website. We looked at that a little bit on the first day when I was kind of introducing the author to you a bit about her. But otherwise, I showed a picture here. It's right there on the first back sleeve of the page. So that would go in the top upper hand corner would be any biographical information that on Kat Winters. For the historical or contextual information, go ahead and kind of think of that as what would be going on in the year 1900. Granted, it takes place in Portland, Oregon, but while you can focus as much as you want as what's going specifically 1900 Portland, Oregon, but you could expand that also just what's going on in the United States or even in the world year 1900. Anything that you think, if you were going to be explaining this book to anybody outside of it, what they would maybe need to know before reading it. The plot summary is going to be pretty self-explanatory, I think. It would be kind of summarization of if you were going to explain what the book's about to some outside source person, what would you say? A lot of times a plot summary can be provided on the back of the book. For this specific one, there were only quotes from other reputable people. I've provided an example of from The Hobbit. It gives a nice brief paragraph on kind of what it's about for his journey. I left this part a little bit bigger so you can expand upon it as much as you want. The author's style. What does the author do stylistically to make you know that it's her? And even though we haven't read other works by her, you can kind of get a feel for her tone, I think, really, really well with it. We all kind of agreed that you can read it at a fairly easy level. None of you has really approached me saying that you had too much of an issue with following it. So I also wanted to add, if you were really into her imagery that she uses or the quotes that you find on those pages, You definitely can add those page numbers and everything in it too, if you feel like it'll, help you making your, paper. The next ones are gonna be on the setting and the symbols. The setting is just a little bit different than the historical context. Where the historical context looks at everything going on like in 1900, the setting is gonna be what exactly pertains to the book. Here actually, I had a lot of fun kind of looking up pictures to put up here for you guys for this one. This is actually Portland, Oregon in 1900. I have it listed on my works cited page, and that one website actually has a lot of other really cool sources. So this will be shared on Google Classroom if you guys wanted to go back and look at that later. It was a really, really great internet source. I can't remember it right off the top of my head. Symbols. Symbols, I decided to use the Dracula one as kind of a reference for you guys. We talked about a few of the other ones during our in-class discussions, but basically it just means what item or object do you see throughout the book that maybe holds a bigger level of meaning for it. Different things that we've read, like earlier in the quarter, we read one book that it placed a lot of emphasis on feathers for the one Indian Native American book we were reading, A Man Called Horse, and it placed a big emphasis on feathers. Themes. It's going to be what is like the overall idea that expands the whole book that you, and I mean, this is completely up to you guys. I'm honestly wanting to kind of have you guys feel this out for your own, give me your own interpretations of what you think will read. My one that I came up with was coming of age for Olivia. I feel like she really came into her own in this one. And literary theories, again, I think this is just kind of something that if you were going to be coming up and like making discussion questions or something, what would you be theorizing as something that would be like a literary theory for this? So my example was, what about Dr. Mead holds true to the stereotypical men of the year 1900? How is he compared to any other father, or even single father of that time? So, what I'm going to have you guys do for the remainder of the class period is, I didn't go too much into the second page with the quotes and significance and characters. For the rest of the time in class today, I want you guys to get into groups of 2. Keep in mind that we're going to be writing our paper on conflict. So as much as you want to, I know we could have probably had this quote section on the paper. If you want to expand on the quotes on your own sheet of paper as much as you want, kind of focus on the quotes that you could find that maybe pertain more to conflict, or conflicts that you find most interesting. But any time that you find a quote that you think is interesting, go ahead and jot it down with the page number so you can come back to it, and we're going to be using it quite a bit later. Okay, so go ahead and go into groups of 2. Go ahead and open your book. Does anybody need a copy? I really like this one. Kind of big close This is one of my favorites.
Let's do some characters. So, all right. So we got, of course, Olivia.
Olivia.
Roll the story.
Antagonist.
What do you think of
I was thinking like, I like main character, whatever.
Is it a protagonist or an antagonist? It's a protagonist.
Shoot it.
The protagonist.
Yeah, so for that,
Antagonist. Okay.
yeah, so Dr. Bean.
I feel like Olivia is kind of at the center of a lot of conflicts, so kind of pushing through.
I just wanted to use my regular vocabulary.
Right, yeah, so Dr. Mead, Olivia's the southeast. Right.
Who would you say that Can we dang?
Yeah, we dang. Okay.
So tomorrow, like I said, we're going to be taking what you guys find for the quote section, specifically any of the quotes that you find on conflict, and we're gonna put that into another worksheet that we're gonna be working on tomorrow. And we'll, out of that, we'll end up finding like 1 or 2 conflicts that you guys feel are the best represented. And then we're gonna conference one-on-one in class and go ahead and pick whichever one we think you're gonna be able to find the most contextual evidence for. And that's what we're gonna end up writing our paper on at the end of the week. So thank you guys so much for everything today. Have a good rest of your day.
Come on now. I wanted to finish my shop. Like in Justin's one, like we have and I was like, oh my god, I can't be right. And like Roseville has like other person on the kids yeah, so we should talk about it.
Thank you.